Welcome, welcome. Jovo, send me a message now. Jovo, send me a message now first. Jovo, let me find you. Where are you? 1 second. Jovo, I've got you here. I've sent you a link. Jovo, join now. I'll send you the link. 1 second. So many people. Bamba! The error's back! Ah, man. Why? Listen, the error is back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was at work. I'm still at work. And I had the news today. Jovel, I've sent you the message. Big up every single one of you.
We are cooking, bro. Hamza, one question. If we get both Wirtz and Reiners, would you want Gibbs White still if we get Wirtz and Reiners together?
Come, just come. Don't worry about it. Come, jump on the bus. Jump on the bus.
Bro, we are cooking. We are cooking.
Jovo, they were sleeping on us. They were sleeping on the sleeping giants of football. Yeah, we were there. There's a reason why, bro. I'm just hearing news is going right, and friend, everyone's worried. What's going on, man? I'm at work. I'm going mad. Huh?
The rival fans are jealous now.
Bro, they're crying. People tweeting. Why are you doing?
They are crying. The rival fans are crying.
Hamza, chat to me, bro. What's going on?
Bro, I don't know. I'm trying to keep up to date. Give me the update so far. What's the latest?
Let me tell you what's going on, bro. Big up everyone. Big up the chat. You see today, bro, Wirtz's family has flown to Manchester, including his father.
Wow.
Including his father, who obviously is basically his agent, and they met with Pep Guardiola.
Wow.
So Pep has spoken to his family, and they've been speaking to Wirtz and including his family for the past couple of weeks. But today is coming out that his family and Bayer Leverkusen, they knew that Wirtz and his family were going to go to Manchester to see Pep. Yeah. And obviously they left later on today to go back to Germany. And then after that, you see the news that Man City and Bayer Leverkusen have reached a verbal agreement for the deal of Florian Wirtz.
No way!
The only thing, Hamza, is that Florian Wirtz, his decision, he hasn't made his decision made yet. But we have reached an agreement with the club. So the one thing that we've done better than Bayern Munich is the fact that we're willing to pay what Bayer Leverkusen is asking. But Hamza, Bayern are cheapskates. Bayern don't want to pay that money.
100% cheapskate.
Bayern don't want to pay that money. And on top of that, you then have the Ornstein bomber saying Reinders is more than likely to happen for City this summer.
Oh my God.
So I'm telling you, today's a good day, bro. Today's a good day.
No way. No way.
Reinders and Wirtz, bro.
No. So they say Man City are likely to get Reinders.
Yeah, that's what Ornstein said, yeah.
Oh, let me down some beef, bro. Bro, we were down and out, bro. No way.
Check. The Ornstein saying, he also said that us getting Reinders is an independent transfer and it's not linked with the potential signings of Wirtz and the likes of Gibbs White. So we can get Reinders and still sign Wirtz. We can get Reinders and still sign Wirtz and Gibbs White.
Oh, bro, just add Rodrigo there, bro. Another one, Rodrigo. Let's just add Rodrigo. We're back. We're laughing, you know.
Hey, Hamza, what are you saying? Assalamu alaikum.
Hamza. Today's a good day, folks. Today's a good day, folks.
Hamza. Hey, Hamza, would you accept Gibbs White if we get Reinders and
I was getting there. Hamza, don't ever accept Fufu.
I'm not accepting Fufu.
When you had Waiku. There are people in this fan base, they were trying to convince you to eat Fufu.
Yeah.
You had Gibbs White. Pep Guardiola has coached Messi,
absolutely,
Xavi, Iniesta, and these people wanted to convince him go in with Gibbs White.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Bro, what were they doing? And you know what? Me and and Daniele were from beginning. What did me and Daniele said about Morgan Gibbs-White? Daniele, what did we say? We said he'll never play as a number 8. What did I say? I laughed for that. Well, as soon as people say 8, I laughed. I thought, bro, I thought he can play 8. You know what, Conway? You know midfield. I always take 6 and 8 as like masters.
Yeah, Hamza. Yeah.
You know 6 and 8. They're the masters of football. Like they're the one that carry the team. You go around the 6 and the 8. Football comes around the midfield. 6 and 8.
It's not
solid. Like, bro.
Hamza, it's like what was it, Hamza? It's like the analogy that last time you gave in the space of a car engine.
Adam, was it me and Conor that be fighting this? I said one thing. Wallahi, Adam, I said it from November. I said, if Bayern Leverkusen wanted to tell, we are the front runners compared to Bayern Munich.
No, because no, Hamza, you know, like what I was.
I thought that. I messaged.
No, Hamza, like what I was saying. Hamza,
let me release the message. 1 second. Huang sent me a message. Yeah. Huang sent me a message. Let me find a message. Look at this, Huang. Huang sent me a message. Yeah. What did it say? 1 second. I said, hey, bro. I wish I could show this. Hey, bro. Yeah. He sent me a message. Hey, bro. Wirtz is going to Bayern. Wallahi, I said to him on Friday, he ain't. He said, really? But why did Martin on Spaces say that Bayern are getting him? I said, told you, bro, he's going. Look at Christian Faki told me. I said, bro, I will never believe until I hear the confirmation. Bro, I've already accepted it. Martin's told us. I said, I'm 100% sure this is not happening. I know, but anything can happen. Man City, I will never accept. We need plan B, plan C. Morgan Gibbs-White's a bum. Bro, we have to, he said, Mo, we have to accept it. Hamza, I said, no, I will not. Man City are still in for Wirtz. What did I say? Wallahi, Juan, turn up here. Wallahi, send me messages. Me and him were fighting here because I've got.
No, Hamza, you know another person that needs to come in is that fraud, Mateus. Bro, Hamza, hey, I'll give you credit though, like what you said in spaces. No, Hamza, I will give you. Hamza, I'll give you and Daniel credit, but I won't give Conway credit. But hey, you said that
Wait, why are you not giving me any credit? Why are you not giving me
no comment? But hey, but what was it? Hamza, like what you said.
Adam and Mateus were the guys that were championing for Gibbs-White, you know.
Wallahi, Wallahi, I did not say that.
What's my no problem?
No. Let me explain myself.
Adam and Patrick wanted Gibbs-White.
Wallahi, Mateus is not allowed to.
Wallahi, I Conway, you're lying on my name. But wait, let me explain. Hamza, give me a chance. Go ahead.
Adam, let me say one thing. Mateus, wallahi, I'm calling that fraud out. I dare you get Wirtz shirt. You said Morgan Gibbs-White is the better player than Wirtz. Wallahi,
that's haram, bro.
Morgan Gibbs-White. Wallahi, listen, I will not celebrate.
Wait, say Wallahi said that. Say Wallahi said that.
I do not get Wirtz. Wallahi, Mateus should not celebrate. I don't want Mateus to celebrate.
Wait. Did he actually say Gibbs-White is better than Wirtz?
Well, ask everyone here, bro.
Conway, why are you not in the GC?
No, I never saw that.
The WhatsApp GC.
Even you.
I never saw that.
Mateus actually said it. You said yeah. I said, I need Mateus here. Mateus needs to get cooked. No, like, hey, Mateus has to be on the show because he is the biggest fraud, and then that other fraud as well, Patrick. But with me, look, I'll explain myself. I said, look, if it comes, look, the only way I said, yeah, I will accept Morgan Gibbs-White, and I clearly tell it, and Danielle is my witness as well, yeah, I've said it, is if they give me Florian Wirtz, or if it happened to, no, wait, let me explain. If it happens to that, I just said, possibly, if we didn't get him, possibly, I said, then my second choice, my main after Florian Wirtz, if possibly we did not get him, would have been what's his name, the guy from Lyon and Gibbs-White.
Yo, Hamza,
then I would have accepted that.
Yo, Hamza, I just want to clarify something I said earlier. Jack Gordon had just come out and said Jack Gordon had just come out and said that Florian Wirtz and his parents, they didn't meet Pep, but they met Hugo Viana and Cheeky. Because Pep's not in Manchester right now.
Hey, Hamza, you fraud. Hey, you want to apologize to Hugo Viana? You fraud. You said you want to
Hamza, you have
criticize
to
him.
apologize to Hugo Viana. Hamza.
I fought for him this summer.
No.
Adam,
Hamza, your criticism has to be loud. Your apology has to be the same as your criticism. You were saying you wanted to criticize him. Where's your apology?
Listen, I said this summer, I'm judging Hugo Viana from beginning.
Where's your apology, Hamza?
Adam, I'm seeing we're losing. What did I say in LB show?
Hamza.
We're losing our greatest player.
Hamza, me and Conway, we just want you to say sorry. And apologize.
I'm not apologizing until I get my players. Listen, if he will get
Conway, look at this fraud.
What the Adam? Forget that. Florian Wirtz to Man City, if it happens, wallahi shows that we're the biggest club in world football. Wallahi, I will never. Because how do I go, bro? Real Madrid and Bayern are in this race. Real Madrid and Bayern last time were in the race with us. Was the Haaland deal? Yes or no? One way. If we get Wirtz deal,
it was the Haaland.
Are you telling me? Should I go and get the shirt now? Ready?
Hamza, don't get the shirt now. Get the shirt in 2 weeks' time. Get the shirt, because I'll be real with you. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about some people saying this word saga can go all. It can take place, and this transfer saga can go on for the entirety of this summer. But I believe Wirtz and his family are gonna make a decision over the next 2 weeks. Why? Because Bayern are not willing to go above 100 million euros.
To be honest with you, Conway, I think
they're cheap. Wait. Adam, wait.
No, Conway, honestly speaking, I think he's already made his decision.
No. They haven't made a decision. They haven't made the decision. But Manchester City and Bayern Leverkusen have a verbal agreement, yes. But Wirtz and his family have not made a decision. Over the next 2 weeks, I think you're going to see a decision when it comes to Wirtz and his family. Because Bayern have put a contract for Wirtz on the table. We have put a contract for Wirtz on the table. We're offering more money to Leverkusen as a club, way more money than Bayern Munich. So over the next 2 weeks, we're going to know. Bayern Munich know, Hamza, one last point. Bayern Munich know they stand a better chance of getting Wirtz next year in 2026 than they do now. We have a better chance of getting Wirtz in 2025 than we do than Bayern Munich.
Go on, Adam. Jovo.
Yeah, I'm here. But no, I was saying, honestly speaking, in my honest opinion, I think he's probably has the team in mind already that he would like to go to. Yes, he's gonna listen to both parties and what both parties have to offer him. But I think already in mind, he already has the team that he would like to go to. And I think personally, in my honest opinion, I think it's us. I could end up being wrong.
I'll tell you one thing I'm scared about Bayern. Because he's German, because he's Bundesliga and the FA, I don't hope the German FA are not involved. Because to me, the only reason, once again, we are fighting the mighty Germans for a German player. If we beat Adam, if we beat Bayern Munich to this deal, this will be the biggest falter by a German football club in history.
Honestly speaking, Hamza,
let me tell you,
Hamza, I think this will be bigger than the Haaland deal. Honestly speaking,
he's bigger than Haaland deal because
no.
German player.
What I mean by that is Hamza, what
he grew up supporting Bayern Munich. Yeah, his whole family supports Bayern Munich, and Manchester City have gone and knocked on Bayern Munich and say, leave your beloved football club, leave your family beloved football club, leave that football club where you've aspired always to go to. Come and join me. That pool is greater than any Premier League pool I've ever seen in my life.
Hamza, you know what I say?
The biggest pool I've ever seen in my life.
Hamza, you know what I say?
German player, bro.
No, Hamza, you know what I say? Hamza, you know what I say? This one is, look, some people may say I'm taking it out of context, but what I mean by bigger than the Haaland one is, yeah, in a sense, my reasoning for that is that you've got Bayern who we all know that controls the German media and everything. When they want a player, they will push the media to say X, Y, Z, all of this.
Fact.
So for us to get him under their nose and him choose City over Bayern Munich, honestly speaking, I think it's bigger than that Haaland deal.
Bigger, way bigger, because Haaland was not associated with any other football club. Haaland could have gone to Real Madrid.
No. Hamza. Haaland was a bigger deal. Shall I tell you why? Because we fought off Real Madrid to get Haaland.
Yeah, but I know, but Real Madrid
No, Conway. This is too big as well because Conway, you know why I say this one is some way bigger, because it was somewhat, you could say, a 3-horse race.
Mm-hmm.
You had 3 teams there fighting each other. So
Real Madrid were never in conversations with Wirtz, by the way. They never wanted Wirtz. That was just people second guessing because Xabi Alonso is going to Real Madrid. People thought Wirtz is going to follow Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid, but that was never the case. It has always been between Bayern and City.
Real Madrid still need a number 10. To me, Conway, my ideal transfer, Florian Wirtz, Reinders, and Rodrigo. What do you think about that transfer?
I think in order for Rodrigo to come, we have to sell not only Grealish but someone else across the forward line has to go as well.
You remember we need a right back too.
Right back, I don't mind. Right back, I think we can get what's the name. I don't mind going on O'Reilly as a left back, man.
Bro, I want Livramento from Newcastle as a right back because he get pace. He and Kusanov in starting. 2 of them quick.
Gonna sell us. That's a problem.
And exactly.
Why would you already hate our football club because of this?
I just hope in the next 2 weeks we get Florian Wirtz and Reiner's deal completed and sealed.
Reiner's and Wirtz.
Yeah. In the next 2 weeks, I hope we get the deal completed and sealed.
Absolutely.
To be honest, I think majority of, like, say, the big players like the Wirtz and Reinders and possibly another player will probably, honestly speaking, I think will probably be done probably before we fly out to the Club World Cup.
Go on.
Bro, do you think with the signing, if we get you Wirtz and Reiners, do you think Grealish, Bernardo, and McCarthy will leave?
No, the problem is you have to have the English quarter. Yeah? The English quarter. Let's write down the English quarter. We need 8 English players, yeah? Morgan Gibbs-White comes, yeah? Let's say Morgan.
Yeah. And then, Hamza, you're also forgetting John Stones is potentially going to leave.
No, he's not leaving because of the
he's not leaving.
We can't get rid of. John Stones stays. That's an English quarter.
Okay.
Yeah? Ake stays. He's an English quarter.
Yeah, Ake is also homegrown as well.
4, Nico Riley. 4.
I said Nico Riley is still technically young to be registered, isn't it? If I'm correct.
Foden.
I don't know. Or am I right, Hamza?
Let's write homegrown. 4, 5, 6, Oscar Bob. Yeah? So 6 Oscar Bob.
You forgot Scott Carson.
Scott Carson, 7. We need 1 more. I'm talking about must who are staying definitely. So Morgan Gibbs-White, John Stones, Ake, Nico Riley, Foden, Oscar Bob, and Scott Carson. Anyone knows any other homegrown that we're likely to keep? That's 7. So let me repeat. Morgan Gibbs-White.
Yeah, Hamza, you forgot Rico Lewis. I think he's the 8th one.
Okay, now let's put the question marks who might stay. Rico, question mark. Yeah. Grealish, question mark. We know Walker's gone, so we're not going to.
Hamza, Rico will stay, Hamza.
So Rico stays. Grealish. So Rico's 8. That's enough.
I think to be honest with you, Hamza, I think Jack Grealish will probably be out the door, honestly speaking.
Do you think Jack Grealish is gone?
Yes, completely.
Hamza,
think about it. My reasoning why I say that, the writing's on the wall. Look at the amount of games that he's played.
It's not that.
If that's
It's not
not
that, Adam. You're looking at it the wrong way. Think
Wages.
about it, guys. Hamza and Adam, what club have been linked with Jack Grealish over the past week?
apparently
club?
there's been Spurs, Milan, and also some
No.
Saudi teams.
You just said it right there. What club, Adam? The second one you said.
AC Milan.
And who did Ornstein say that we're going to?
I know what you're trying to say. So what you're trying to say? What, a swap deal or what?
No. What I'm saying is, Reinders to City
Comes our way, and then Jack Grealish to AC Milan the other way.
and you add a little 30 mil on top of that, and then AC Milan give us 10 mil for Grealish. We're softening the deal between the two clubs. They get Grealish. You get Reinders.
I think to be honest with you, Conway, I think they'd rather take the cash, honestly speaking.
No, but AC Milan need a replacement for Reinders.
No, I get that, but I think honestly they'd rather have that lump sum of that 50 million.
But
I get that the deal is good for them, yeah.
It's part of business, bro. Grealish.
No,
Hamza, you guys are also forgetting about another thing as well.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish, what is he the ambassador of?
Of
Gucci.
Puma.
What did you say, Adam?
Yeah,
Gucci. And where's the headquarters of Gucci?
Milan.
Okay, are you understanding it now?
Yeah.
You understanding it now?
Conway and his conspiracies.
Are you understanding it now? Daniele knows what I'm talking about. Are you understanding it now?
One question.
Yes.
No, if we sell Grealish, I think we should go for Rodrigo. Personally.
Yeah, I think it becomes 10-10. Wirtz, Reinders, Rodrigo, for 24
Gibbs White.
Yeah. A right back. How much would that cost us? Let's say, for example, look, how much is Wirtz going to cost us?
Probably in the region. Probably
we'll probably pay 130 million.
Yeah, 130 to 125 in that region.
Euros
No,
or pounds?
Pounds.
No. 130 euros.
Yeah, so it'll be £100. Yeah? 100 million pounds. Yeah? Is Daniel is here double say. Daniel, you can hear us?
Yeah.
Now you can hear us, yeah? Yeah. You can hear us from there?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So 100 million for Wirtz. How much is Reinders?
Reinders, you're looking at 60 million pounds.
50 to 60.
They said 57 million pounds.
Yeah, so just say 60. Just say 60, innit?
60, okay, 60. Okay. Morgan Gibbs White. That's the one that's hurting me, man.
You're looking at 70 for Gibbs White.
70 pounds, man. Come on, bro. That's hurting me.
English tax, Hamza, English tax.
But
No, let's go back.
No. Hamza, you know if that's the case, yeah. Hamza, honestly speaking, if that's the case, that they want him for homegrown. No, Hamza, you know why? If that's the case for homegrown, yeah, why don't they just go and get Anthony Robinson from Fulham because he's homegrown?
Fact.
Even though because Hamza, why I'm saying that? Look. For me, I'm not against the transfer for Gibbs White. Where my issue lies is the fee that we're going to potentially pay for him.
Yeah.
That's where my issue is, Hamza. 70 million, it doesn't make sense for me, in my honest opinion. Because why I say that it doesn't make sense for me, you can go and get Anthony Robinson. Yes, I get how old is Anthony Robinson? 20-something or in his late 20s, I think. So I think, look, it just makes sense. And you'll get Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson is turning 30 years old. Get that guy nowhere near my club.
No, but listen, let me go back to Reinders 60, 100 million for what? How much Rodrigo?
Rodrigo, you're looking at 80.
So let's say 70 million pounds. That's what 100 million worth Rodrigo and Reinders comes as 230.
No, Hamza, you're looking at it the wrong way. If we sign Wirtz, I don't think we get Rodrigo. It's either one. You have to pick one.
But why, bro? We need a winger.
That's what it is, bro. The reason as to why these Rodrigo links were popping up yesterday.
Our winger's Savio. What the hell?
No, but Hamza, the reason as to why these Rodrigo links were popping up yesterday is because people thought like, Wirtz could actually go Bayern now, and now Rodrigo's the guy that City will look into next. You know what I'm saying? But now it's looking like it's different today.
Go to another team, bro.
Huh?
We've got bad wingers, bro. That's a problem. I don't trust these wingers, bro. Even if I get Wirtz and Reinders, I hate my wingers. Well, I hate my wingers.
We'll potentially sign a winger, but it might not be Rodrigo.
Bro,
I'll be surprised.
One
I'll be
question.
surprised if the club gets Wirtz and Rodrigo this summer. I'll be very surprised because that's a lot of money for only two players.
One question for the panel. If we get Wirtz, Reinders, and Rodrigo in the midfield, do you think Doku and Savio output will improve?
Yeah, it'll improve the team 100%.
I think Doku's one will definitely. He will finally have someone that's bloody able to and has the legs to run into that box, not these dumpers that we have in the now.
And one thing about Wirtz, if you see a player making a run, he will release the ball. Will, no doubt about that.
Fact.
So Haaland and Doku running in behind the defense. I forgetting Mamouche, he will release the ball.
Yeah, Mamouche one wing, Rodrigo the other wing, Haaland up front, Reinders, Rodri, and in front of them the three. Look, Rodri, Reinders, then three of them, Wirtz, Mamouche, and Rodrigo, and up front Haaland. Wallahi, be honest,
bro. I think next season is a very big season for him because when you see the likes of Wirtz and Reinders coming in the squad, he will have to improve the game. He will have to improve the game. For it under a lot of pressure starting next season.
Mamouche left wing, Rodrigo right wing, middle is Wirtz. Up front Haaland.
And then who's behind Wirtz?
What? No, 4-2-3-1.
So who's the two in midfield?
Reinders and Rodri.
And then Wirtz.
Wirtz is part of the three. Mamouche, Wirtz, Rodrigo, up front.
Hamza, but okay, then you spent. But last summer you spent. No, Hamza.
But it's
Hamza, you spent.
Hamza Foden starts.
No, but no, wait. Hamza, in January you spent. No, but Hamza, you spent 60 million on. Hamza, in January you spent 60 million on Nico G. So what? You're not gonna utilize him?
No. That's the squad option, bro.
It's the squad, bro.
So what? So you spent 60 million for a squad, basically a squad player, basically.
You
need squad depth, Adam. You need squad depth.
Adam, I'm keeping him and Kovacic. Kovacic has to stay. He changes the game. I've seen.
No. But Hamza,
okay, if that's the case, yeah.
Gando goes.
Hamza,
yes, I was just about to say that. If that's the case, you move Gundogan. You take Gundogan out of the club. Very simple. If you're keeping Kovacic, Gundo has to ship him to Turkey, ship him to Saudi, ship him to anywhere.
If we get money for Kovacic, the club will sell.
Huh?
If we get money for Kovacic, the club will sell. Guys, bro, you guys are forgetting we have to get rid of a lot of players this summer. We need money for a majority of the players that we're going to get rid of. So if KDB's leaving on a free and we're not getting any money for him, but fair play, we're getting a lot of wages off the book. The likes of Kovacic, the Grealishes, and the McAtees of the world, we need money for these players and Edison. Because Edison is most likely going to leave. So we need to, at the bare minimum, get at least £100 million in sales this summer.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna do that if you keep Kovacic and Gundogan? If clubs like in Turkish clubs or other clubs in Europe want to come in for these guys and they're willing to pay us money, we have to accept the money, bro, because we're trying to sign players that are going to replace these guys and are younger than them that can perform week in, week out. So you need money, but we need to actually get a lot of money from sales as much as we need to buy this summer.
Like in terms of where do you sell? Where do you sell players?
So McAtee, we can get at least 30 mil.
McAtee 30, okay.
Kovacic, I believe we can get at least 20.
Kovacic 20. Uh-huh.
So that's 50 mil for two players right there. Edison, he wants to go Saudi. We know that. We can get at least 40. We can get at least 40. Let's just say, for argument's sake, 30 mil. So I believe we can get 30 mil for Edison, even though I would love to keep Edison, but obviously he wants to go for the money. So we can get 30 mil for Edison. So that's 80 mil. And now you're missing 20 mil in order for you to get that 100 million pound in sales. So Grealish, then it becomes Grealish. How much are AC Milan, Tottenham, any other club in Europe? How much are they willing to pay for Jack Grealish in order for us to get the 100 million pounds of sales money that we've made from our players this window, in the summer transfer window? How much money can we get for Grealish? That's the question. Because I believe we can get 80 mil from McAtee, Kovacic, Ederson, those three players. How much money can we get for Jack Grealish? Then that's the question.
I think that's the question. How much? I think Jack Grealish you can come to think. I think Jack Grealish you can get 30, 40 million.
Yeah, so then it totally depends on the club, because I believe if Tottenham get Champions League football, they're coming for Jack Grealish, by the way. If they beat United in the Europa League final, I think they're coming for Jack Grealish, because then they have Champions League money.
Who else can you sell?
Huh?
Who else can you sell?
You can sell Ake or Stones.
No, you can't.
But currently, Hamza, there's no clubs that are interested in either in none of those two guys.
So Savio, what happens to Savio?
Hamza, Savio just came in the door, but we're not going to sell Savio. He just came in the door.
No. What happens to Savio? Is he keeping him bench? Savio's a bench boy?
It's squad depth, bro. Squad depth.
Doku?
Squad depth.
You sell, you keep Gando and squad depth. Gando.
No, I would sell Gundogan as well. I would rather keep Kovacic than keep Gundogan. But
Let me tell you how bad you are in making our decision, Conway. We refused to give Gundogan a 2-year contract, but when he came back after a year, we gave him a 2-year contract.
Yeah, it's mad, but I don't know what the club's doing in that regard. But if we
refused to give him a 2-year contract before treble, but we gave him a 2-year contract when he came back after 1 year.
I know, man, but listen, we're getting grinders. We're getting grinders now, isn't it? So we're talking about Daniel. We're talking about the money that you can get from sales this summer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Jack's going to go. I think Rico possibly could go in a loan option to buy. But I think Bernardo's still on. Bernardo will go if they can't sell Kovacic. Otherwise, I think it's going to be Bernardo, the one that goes, because he's got 1 year. You can make that deal work with Benfica and eat. I'd rather eat Bernardo's contract than eat Jack Grealish's, because I think Jack Grealish is 2027 or 2028. Selling Jack Grealish is going to come at a loss, and it has way more of a penalty against PSR versus selling Bernardo. Ederson, you're going to sell him for a profit, so that's going. Yeah, you're going to sell him for a profit because he's already renewed. 2 times already, or I think 1 time. So you've already paid him for the value of his first contract. So anything after that is going to be a positive towards PSR if you sell him. Other than those, Doku. I think Doku may be sold. Paulo said something in the last spaces where Doku doesn't seem very happy. I mean, at this point, if we're going to be honest, he is being used as an impact sub, which is not bad. I think for his developmental purposes, if he stays at City, that's what he's going to be. He's not going to be an out-and-out starter. And at his age, being a full-fledged Belgian international, it's in his interest to go somewhere to actually start versus coming off the bench. I think that'll be interesting.
You think Doku? No, I think Doku's happy.
No, I disagree with you. I don't think he's happy because right now, as things stand on the lineup that you just described, he's not starting. He's not starting over Marmoush. He's not starting over Foden. I don't even think he's starting on the right wing over Oscar Bob. When Oscar Bob comes back, Pep has his favorites. And by favorites, players that he can rely upon, that he doesn't have to coach. Savio, he feels like he has to coach a lot. Doku, he feels like he has to coach a lot. the players that are coming in, he does not want to have to coach them too much. They need to be able to hit the ground running. They need to be pros, or the talent just needs to be so overwhelming. What I also think they need to do, because Martin got upset when I said this a couple spaces back, but they can be so much smarter with the allocation of the homegrown that you don't need to go out and get a more than 50 runners. When I saw the link with the Livramento, that to me it makes sense because you're getting a player that fits the need.
But Livramento, I understand that, but Livramento, I can't see Newcastle selling.
No, I don't think Newcastle will sell, but it's the sort of signing that you address a need and you address your homegrown at the same time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost a lot. One second. The other player, Wolves have two fullbacks. So you got Ait Nouri, he's not homegrown, but they've got another fullback that we were linked to a year and a half ago that we were trying to bid with Chelsea, Pedro Lima, that they signed at 17 years old. Pedro Lima, I think the same way Victor pays. If you went and you got Pedro Lima, in 2 years' time, he would count towards your homegrown because he was signed by Wolves when he was 17 years old, and you have to be registered with a FA registered Premier League or English registered team for at least 3 years before the age of 21 to be considered homegrown. That's the sort of player I would be trying to go after because you're trying to cheat the system. You get them young, you can coach them, and if it doesn't work out, you can still sell them. But overpaying for an age just because it's a homegrown box that you have to take off, to me, that's what's just like, it's crazy. Even like with the goalkeeper, everyone's saying, we need a backup goalkeeper. We need two goalkeepers. So pay for a starter and then promote one of the kids from the academy to do the Scar Carson role. Hire Scar Carson as a coach. He doesn't have to be a backup goalkeeper. I mean, the coach can still practice as a goalkeeper, but that's another way to tick off the box for your homegrown quota, quote unquote, that you can do. These are things that I think that they should have been more creative to do. Or I read a report last night, and they were saying that United and even some of the other mid-table groups, what they're going to start doing now to cheat the homegrown quota thing with some of the restrictions in the Premier League, they're just going to be buying a percentage share in either championship clubs and then doing link deals with those clubs and then loaning some of their promising players that may be, let's say, international, and signing them before the age of 18, the way Chelsea has been doing, but on a ridiculous level, and then loaning them out there for 2-3 years. They're technically not your players, but there's a backing agreement where if you wanted to bring them back, they'll be your players, and if they're good, you won't have to worry about them being homegrown.
So let me see. So the latest news, any updates? I'm hearing that Wirtz and the family, Wirtz mom and dad came into City. Wirtz has put Man City as a softening stance about Man City.
Hamza, I forgot to tell you something else, bro.
Yeah.
Hamza, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wirtz and his family, guess who they also met today?
Hugo Van.
No.
Picture.
Khaldoon Al Mubarak.
Yeah, that's normally backhand there, bro.
That's no joke, bro. That's no joke.
That's a big one. You don't meet the
Hamza,
head of state.
Are we going in back for Cambiaso from Juventus?
I don't know about that one. I've not had the people in the list on the right backs who we've got. I think the people were thinking Man City were out in this Wirtz their first 1 second of all. But City have come in to show their stance. When they've come to show, because there's a reason why, Conway. What made me believe City was still interested in Wirtz is the fact, why would they let go of KDB? That's the question I kept asking. Jovo, Daniel and Conway, why would they let go of KDB? Why would they let go of KDB? The greatest ever player, and they don't have a solution.
Yeah, that's very true, bro. You can't let the greatest player.
It doesn't make sense. Why let go of KDB, who's been there for years? Yeah, and stay with Wirtz.
Yeah. You can't let the greatest player to play for this football club go, and then not replace him with top talent. Because obviously you can't replace KDB in the market. There's no player in the world that's like KDB, but you need to at least replace him with top talent.
The closest player we've been saying Conway is Florian Wirtz. We've been saying from the beginning. We've been fighting for this.
I think you need to sign. I think you need to sign the top talent that plays as a number 10 like KDB does, but they don't. But he's not at KDB's level. It's gonna take him a couple years for him to get to that level at least. But the manager that can help him reach that level is Pep.
I think there's two signings I was upset in January we didn't get. One, you're gonna laugh at me. Is a player at Napoli that wanted to leave, Kvaratskhelia. He was available for 40 million. I was so upset we didn't go for him. He was on my list. Wallahi, it was on my list where I give Pep. I said, and I put it there, wow. I said, you sign him, it's wow. That one, Conway, that we missed a big one. Wallahi, we missed a big one. Kvaratskhelia would left wing. Mamouche would have come in. I don't mind not having a DM, bro. I'm telling you.
No. You got Kvaratskhelia a top player, well, but I think we have to move on from that. The signings that we could potentially make in this transfer window.
This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at wingers that can kill it as well. Wirtz is a number 10 for KDB. Reinders comes in the midfield for Gundam. Bernardo guy. That there's deficiency there. Echeverri, I think Echeverri has to learn. Echeverri will only get better either two ways. Either play with great players, or you give him a chance to play.
But Hamza, you're not seeing what they're saying about Echeverri. The fact that he's been
talent,
they've been very impressed with him in training, bro.
That's spin, Conway. That is spin.
So you say that again, Daniel?
I said that's spin. That's a way.
PR.
It's PR. So let me tell you one thing that these clubs do.
Come the situation that what would be saying.
Yeah, they do monitor fan sentiment online.
We're pissed off now after Southampton. Conway.
That's spin for the
Conway. People came up for Ruben Diaz. Fans were criticizing Man City. Fans were so disgruntled. We had even Martin, who's normally proactive. Martin was pissed off. He tweeted about how he felt about getting this. I think Wirtz.
After Southampton,
After Southampton, Man City football club I've seen, and we couldn't even create, bro. And those are red flags.
But Hamza,
you think this football club are not having meetings?
No, but Hamza, I got bothered by the Ruben Diaz stuff because the fan base was more upset at Diaz versus the fact how Pep set up the team and how Pep made late substitutions. So the players playing, they're going to be emotional. They're going to be angry. He's frustrated. And the quote wasn't quoted in its entirety because he also did mention that we didn't do a good job. But to put all the blame on Diaz there, it's like Pep has said same shit in the past before. And I would just, the fan base needs to be consistent. And I was on that flag of the Pep out a while back because I got very upset on some of the bullshit that he was doing. If we're going to criticize the players and even come at them and saying it's disappointing for those comments, be equally disappointed at Pep because sometimes when we play horrible, Pep comes out and says, well, at least we were brave. And whenever he mentions that word brave, I know that he's trying to spin the situation so that the fan base doesn't get upset at the players or even at himself on how the team was set up to play.
Fact, I agree. But I think I'll tell you one thing. The way that we played against Southampton was so bad. It was the biggest red flag ever. That fan, Conor, if we had played 280 minutes, we would have scored. We were that bad. We didn't create a proper chance. Okay, we hit the
Bro, you just have to give credit to Southampton. They defended really well. They were tight.
Nah,
yes, no. Conway's right. No, Conway is
you're right, but
No, Hamza. Even if they're a very poor side and they've been one of the poor sides this season, just give credit where it's due, man.
Yeah, but Conway, they had been relegated. Our City fans.
100%, bro. But this is what I said in literally the space before the match in Martin's space. I said one of the reasons why this Southampton game is going to be very tough is because Southampton don't want to share the same record with Derby County when it comes to the lowest point tally in the history of the Premier League. Ask anyone this. You can ask Paolo, he was in that space, Martin, Ed. They know for a fact that I mentioned this. And then what do you get the following day at the 3 p.m. kickoff against Southampton? From minute one, the entirety of that 11 that was on the pitch for Southampton defended very well until the last minute. Tight on every player. When Jeremy Doku came on the pitch, it wasn't just one guys with him, two guys, and even behind Jeremy Doku, they made sure they had a line across to make sure Doku couldn't put no passes. They got caught at one time when Doku passed it to Bernardo Silva, but it got cleared off the line. You just, even though everyone within this fan base was angry after that result, you just have to give credit to Southampton and be like, you know what? They defended really well. We couldn't find a solution. Just give credit where it's due, man. Just got to hold our hands up and do better moving forward.
100%.
I don't think so. I'm very critical. I think we should be in Southampton. I think in our past
we should have beaten them, but you don't show up and assume that the other team.
That's why I said the players
is good. No. You don't assume that the other team is going to lay down. Those guys are professionals. They have pride. They have bonuses. They're playing for something, even if they're relegated already. In some cases, they're playing spoiler. So if you show up with that arrogance and you think you got 3 points guaranteed, well, you fucking found out that now you're going to have to earn the UCL spot on your own. No one's going to give it to you, and I think that's also one of the reasons why Diaz was so pissed, because.
Go on.
I think you lost connection there, or maybe you got a phone call. But Hamza, what Daniele is saying is right though. On that day before we played against Southampton, bro, the way the players were warming up, the way they kickstarted the game, it's like our players turned up at St. Mary's thinking, you know what, today's just going to be an easy 3 points because this team's already relegated. It's about the mindset of those players on that particular day thinking they were just going to get an easy 3 points. And then you realize towards the 60th to the 70th minute where Pep is panicking, the players are panicking, substitutions are being made at halftime. We're trying to get something in. You give Doku baby minutes in the last 10 to 15 minutes thinking that you could salvage something from this game, but then it's too late. It's too late. It becomes too late. So now you use that as a lesson, thinking that we have 3 games left now, 1 being the FA Cup final, 2 being games, and we have to win both if we want Champions League football.
What is the FA Cup final?
Say that again, Hamza.
When's the FA Cup final?
On Saturday.
Oh, shit. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Saturday 4:30.
Saturday 4:30, yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be a tough game. That's gonna be
tough, bro.
That's gonna be a very, very tough game. I'm telling you now. Palace have not reached there, bro. That's a tough game. You're right. But Conor, I just look at that. I'm thinking we had a chance, man, to secure this.
But it's our fault, G. We turned up at St. Mary's thinking that, this is a given 3 points to us. And what Daniele said is just spot on. These players are still fighting for appearance bonus. If you score a goal, you get a bonus. And they're not getting this type of money in the championship. The bonus that you get in the championship is nowhere near the bonus that you get as a Premier League player. It's nowhere near. It's night and day.
Tyler Dibley is trying to get a move to stay in the Premier League. You don't think he had something to play showcasing against us?
I think it's I don't know. Tyler Dibbling, you say? I think Tyler Dibbling looked okay. I think he did a Vardio twice.
No, but it was for him. That was the showcase.
I'm sorry, Daniele. I expect us to beat Southampton. whether Southampton are good, whatever it is, there's a standard at Man City. We had players who had a shocker, bro. We can create. Some players, one of our star boys, he didn't do well. He got taken off. Haaland didn't have any chances created for him. Kovacic, I thought Kovacic and De Bruyne were their best of their bad bunch, but I think the rest were poor. I think Akanji coming to the team, he just moved the ball forward. He had a one shot on target, bro. We were so poor on Sunday. We were so bad that I don't care what people say about Southampton. That's a relegated side. It's like the same thing at Nottingham Forest when they drew to Leicester. What did the owner do? Came into them and said, how can you be drawing to a team like that? They got relegated. Does that make sense? We scored 1 goal in 2 games against Southampton. I'm not going to let that go because we could have had it easy. We could have had it easy in the next game. We win that game, won the Champions League. Now, we have to win that game and go to the Fulham game, look at other results. And because the worst game, even Conway, did you think that Southampton was going to be easy? He said no.
I said Southampton was going to be a tough game.
You thought United would be easy. I told you United was going to be hard. We drew
a game. United, we didn't beat them because it was largely due to the setup and the personnel that Pep put on the pitch.
United got thumped 2-0 with West Ham, bro. Come on, man.
I know. But we weren't direct to the team. Hamza, we went to Old Trafford on that day, and Pep said, "Keep possession of the ball. Just keep possession of the ball." That was it. We had no direct players that started on that pitch on that day. You had the likes of Bernardo, Gundo, Kovacic that all started in midfield. And then you expect us to get 3 points against United at Old Trafford. There's no Doku, there's no Marmoush. We have no direct players on that football pitch apart from Haaland at the time. Pep completely messed it. But then after that, you realize, I have to change up the system. O'Reilly, Nunes came as the fullbacks. You have Marmoush in the team now, KDB. Everything got changed, and then we went on this winning run, and then we got too comfortable up until the point on Saturday against Southampton.
Do you think Pep's tactics have been frustrating this season, or do you think there was similar you saw last season?
Is Pep frustrated?
Yeah, there's the play that he has. Pep's play, possession ball. Do you think it's frustrating to a lot of fans? Like Jin here saying that he's keep possession Pep is annoying. Do you feel that we've seen more this season, or was there a bit of trickling last season?
I think it's frustrating, but I understand why Pep does it sometimes, because these players, a lot of them have been very injury prone this season. A lot of these players have been injured.
But you can't do this when you got mediocre players. You can do this, keep possession, and you got Sterling as Sane, quick players who can shoot and score goals, and Aguero. But you can't do this when you got Savio and Doku and Kovacic. Players who are not going to win you games every game. You can do this when Gando used to be young and used to come in to the attack and score goals as the last minute, used to pop in. But when you just go round, and the only person in the box is Haaland, you can't do it. He did it well with 100 points because he had killers up front. You have killers everywhere. You have killers of Sane, you got killer of Sterling, you got killer of KDB, you have killers everywhere. If they keep the ball, Sterling was in the wing, bang, already ready to score a tap in. Leroy Sané is there to shoot, take you on. If it comes back, trickles back, guess who's there to shoot? Bang, Kevin De Bruyne. But when you got players like Doku and Savinho, they're not top quality players. You can't play with that football. You need, it's the fact that you need. Look at Mahrez. Mahrez was good at this football. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Also different about Mahrez, Conway. Top bins. I'm cutting in, bang, top bin. Yeah? So you couldn't stop anyone. It's like they know who to stop. Haaland and stop the middle. The wings, don't worry, they'll just try and dribble. How come a team that used to score 100 and something goals? Yeah? Now, similar. The only thing that was different is Marmoush came on because you need shooters. He was shooting, he hit the post twice, is it? Once or twice. In 10 minutes, Marmoush had chances already. But the rest, no, Bernardo doesn't shoot. Foden, I don't know what's happened to him this year. Doku doesn't shoot. Savinho got into the face of him and Kovacic. Remember?
Yeah.
Man, we've gone downhill because of that. That's why City have realized no more shopping at Aldi. Yeah, no more shopping at Aldi.
Hamza, do you know we was talking about literally 10 minutes ago, yeah, or 20 minutes ago on this stream, and I was saying like, yo, even though Gundo, because you were saying that we gave Gundo a 2-year contract extension, but I'm saying like we could still sell him this summer. It's now just come out. Check City Extra Twitter, bro. Check City Extra Twitter now.
Yeah.
Just read the latest tweet, Hamza. Check it.
I bet they're gonna sell him. I told everyone. Let me see.
Check the latest tweet, bro. Read it.
City Extra. I think it's gonna go back. That's right. Man City will listen to offers to Ilkay Gündoğan despite recent contract extension and the player wanting to stay for another year. I told you. Bro! Conway, did I not say the same thing? He's not gonna stay.
So I'm saying, but I told you, if there's money on the table, the club will more than very happily take that money.
Martin was saying that he's not gonna go no matter what.
Oh, he will leave. If there's money being offered, he will leave. He will 100% leave.
Absolutely. No, I think we're gonna get money. He's gonna go Galatasaray or go Saudi. I think he's going Saudi.
And I think Gunda wants to play in Turkey before he retires. I think he wants to do that. Because the guy is Turkish, boy. He's Turkish.
I said he's gonna go Turkey, Galatasaray. Yeah. Galatasaray will probably get 10, 15 million for him. 10 million for him, probably 10 million for him. Gando's gonna go to Saudi or Turkey. And there's no way I'm gonna sell Kovacic who's younger and keep Gando. But I was thinking my club's gone mad. I think Kovacic stays. Remember Conor say Kovacic will stay.
If we get money though, Hamza, he's gone though.
How much? I don't think 20 million. I think unless you get 30
if we get
million.
20 to 30 mil in between that range, he's gone, bro. We're gonna sell him.
But then who are you gonna get?
Reinders, you got Nico G in the squad.
No, but one second. Reinders is whose replacement? Gundogan. Yes,
yeah, it's gonna be Gundogan's replacement, yeah.
Nico G has already come as an extra man for rotation for Rodri. So who's Kovacic's replacement? You have to get another one.
Gibbs White.
Are you joking? Gibbs White. They said today Gibbs White will never play the number 8, bro. Never.
That's what's gonna happen, bro. That's what's gonna happen.
1,000%. This is another one I'll tell you, Gondo. He will not play as the number 8. If Pep wants to get battered, play Gibbs White number 8.
Hamza, me and you after the Wembley when we beat Forest outside the stadium, we was talking about this. We talked to Nottingham Forest fans. I told you then, bro, I don't want Gibbs White. But if we sign him, we have to sign him alongside the Reinders, the Wirtz, and we're now looking to do that.
I think Bernardo leaves, we need more money. We need players. If Bernardo leaves,
I think Bernardo stays.
But if Bernardo leaves, Rodrigo has to come in. If Bernardo leaves, Rodrigo, it has to be a mad summer. It has to be a mad summer. And I'm sensing Rodrigo, bro. I'm sensing Rodrigo happening. Guys, man, I'll finish the show. I'm gonna go to YouTube. What's the name? Twitter. I'm going to be there in 10 minutes, man. Anything you want to say before we lock up? I was going to do an hour, then tomorrow I'll do an hour, another an hour. Tomorrow we'll do the same.
Just big up everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. But we'll be back here 9 o'clock tomorrow again, man. Daniele, I'll see you guys in the space, man. Big up, bro.
Big up.